Hello everybody, it's me, Ghost Money General, and I'm going to be reading KinnPorsche. Technically this isn't an audiobook, although you can treat it as such. This isn't like professional or anything like that, so it's just me reading it and wanting to share it with you. If you don't have the book and would like to, read it or know what's in it, then this is a good video for you. Or if you just don't want to read it alone and you just want to have some company while you're reading it, then this will also be a good video for you. I will have like a gameplay in the background, because I don't know what's to put in the background. Basically, you know how a lot of storytime videos have like a gameplay of something playing in the background. Just treat it like that. If you don't want to hear me, you just want to see the gameplay, then just mute me. Whichever you prefer. The gameplay is me playing. So it's not somebody else's footage. It's mine. Pero yeah, let me just start. I'm gonna start reading the back, so if you're following along with me, then you'll be reading the back as well. Just you know where I am. So it says here, dangerous. I should also clarify. Let me just start giving the disclaimers. I do not speak Thai, for starters. Obviously, those. Even though I do speak English, when it comes to reading English, it's not as good as other people. I'm a native Spanish speaker, not a native English speaker. Pero hopefully it doesn't bother your experience. So if I do make mistakes or stuff, I do apologize. So yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Dangerous liaison. I think there's a pronunciation guide here. I should have checked prior. Normally they do have, if you guys are looking for it, it's going to be also in the back. That's where they normally have the, they have the name guide in the back. So, but this is just for the, I don't think they have the pronunciation for I don't think they have for what the word I'm looking for. They put the Thai honorifics here, like P and Long. Not all of them are there, but the most used, the most that you'll probably hear are there. I'm so sorry. I got distracted. You can tell the ADHD is real. I mean, let's start. Ever since the tragic death of his parents, I said that laughing. Porsche's life has been a balancing act between attending college and bartending to support his younger brother and pay off his deadbeat uncle's gambling debt. When he witnessed a gang of thugs attacking a handsome young man in the alley behind his bar, he's reluctant to intervene until he's offered 50,000 baht, which is like a lot, to help the stranger escape. The stranger is known as Kinn, the second son of the notorious crime family. Impressed with Porsche's fighting skill, Kinn makes a proposition. If Porsche agrees to become his personal bodyguard, his debt will be absolved. Porsche doesn't want any trouble, especially not the kind of trouble Kinn obviously is going to be dealing with. Yeah, Kinn always gets what he wants. So we already kind of in our little, that's in the back. You guys probably recognize the title. I should have said this earlier, but if you guys don't know, there is a live action adaptation. If I'm correct, the live action adaptation came before the book, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure the live action came before the book. Here it says the Thai BL novel that inspired. Well, it said inspired, so maybe it came first. I know there has been a lot of controversy with Seven Seas translating this book because they were marking it as a danmi, which is Chinese BL. Hopefully they put it in its right category, which would be a Y series, which is how Thailand calls BL, Y series. I will be putting images so you guys can see what I see, or like the drawings that Seven Seas likes to put in the book. So I'll take some photos of my book. The drawings are really good. the illustrator, his name is here. Let me say the illustrator is Bakeria. That's what it says here. Thank you. So let's start. We're going to be starting on chapter 0. It's going to be page 9. Okay? And it's called A Bad ... Start. So it starts with Porsche. Whack! Thud. Oh, by the way, I like making noises, like, sound effects and stuff like that, because I like getting myself into the book. So if you don't like that, then it's going to be very awkward. Just saying. Whack! Thud. The sound of a hard object hitting flesh caught my attention. I was stuffing a large trash bag into a green bin near the nightclub where I worked part-time. A cigarette dangling from my lips. From the corner of my eye, I saw 5 or 6 thugs beating up some stupid guy on the ground. I adjusted my backpack and casually took a drag from my cigarettes, ignoring the havoc in front of me. This was a common occurrence in this alley next to the nightclub. It was quite dark, and staff only came back here to throw out the trash or pick up deliveries. Shit! You won't give up? Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm gonna be censoring. Sorry. I couldn't see clearly through the darkness, but I could faintly hear the cursing. I kept ignoring them, though, studiously locking the back door of the nightclub now that my shift was over. I worked part-time here as a server after class. Usually the place was close to empty at this hour, and just a few customers remained, either waiting to hail a taxi, looking to get laid, or picking a fight, like, the guys behind me. I didn't want to be a heartless douche, but I also didn't want to stick my nose into other people's businesses, and I get it. The guy must have insulted someone in the group, or, to get beaten up this badly, like, fine. You can call me a jerk for ignoring a guy getting his deserved. But what did I know? He might have done something to, deserve this. And not something trivial. He, stealing candy from a corner store, right? Get the out of me. Damn, this dude is tough. I glanced behind me and saw him spring up and hit the thug back. I threw my cigarette to the ground and stopped it out with my shoe. Then stretched my stiff muscles before heading to my bike in the nearby parking lot. I was ready to head home and rest. And I would have done that too, if this dumb hadn't hurled himself onto my bike. I heard a faint, raspy voice. Help. That was more of a whisper, but I felt a tug on my university jacket. I looked behind to see a man's bruised face, blood all over his nose and mouth. He looked surprisingly handsome for someone who was so banged up. Simp. I wondered what a posh-looking guy like him did to get his schmidt rocked this badly. Get back here, girl. One of the goons stalked closer and violently yanked the guy by his shirt collar. I took another look at him. Something crossed my mind and made me pull his arm before a big bully could drag him away. Chill out, dude, I said calmly, assessing the thug's face. He had a mustache and looked way too old for me to call dude. Why would this a-hole bully a kid? The handsome guy, who I was still holding by the arm, by the way, looked about the same age as me. Judging from his clothes, he was some sort of rich kid. Were they trying to mug him or something? I pulled the guy back to shield him while staring at his attacker. And I thought I'd just mind my own business. Stay the f*** out of here. I'm warning you. That made me hesitate, but I was too curious. I had to ask. What did he do? If this guy did something wrong, then I'd let him face his fate. You know what? Get him. But if not, I might try and become, a good person for once. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I told you not to butt in. The dog barked angrily before attempting to grab the handsome guy behind me. I hesitated again. This was really not. It was none of my business, to be clear with it. I had a little brother to take care of. Who's gonna feed him if I got hurt and couldn't work, Images of my burden of a little brother flashed in my head. I really was a callous, prick when it came down to it. I didn't want to take action without getting anything, from my troubles. With, that realization, I intended to move away and let the group of thugs do whatever they wanted with the good-looking guy. But he stopped me. If you help me, I'll pay you a worthy reward, he whispered. He was trying to bribe me? That. He really thought he could just sway me with money. Yep, damn straight. And it was all good. It was always good motivation. You thought it was... No. That was actually that was the magic word, actually. How much? I asked. 50,000? That's enough? My lips curled into a satisfied smile at the offer. 50,000 would be enough to cover my tuition fees for my little brother. Chai. I used one arm to block the goon's advance. If you bail, I'll, out you. Understood? I said. One of the thugs grabbed a 2x4 and I immediately shoved the handsome kid out of the way to kick the thug's hand, knocking him and the plank of wood to the ground before he could clobber me. Oh, by the way, in a little note here, 50,000 baht is the equivalent of $1,400,000. Yeah. Well, at least for me, it's quite a lot. Ooh, image. Oh, take a photo and show it to you guys. It's probably on screen right now. Ooh, they look good. I like it. The drawing's really good. Okay. I was determined not to let anyone get to that pretty man, so I called up all the martial arts skills I knew. I'd actually won a national champion's title in the martial arts back in high school, just in case, not to brag. I punched and kicked, taking out as many of the thugs as I could, until they all turned to target me. I managed to block their strides, countering them by yanking their hair and smashing their faces into the concrete wall. The smell of blood from their broken faces began to permeate the air. I smirked. Smiled that no one managed to get the upper hand on me. I threw a couple of more punches, and the stubborn goons who refused to give up before hurriedly grabbing my backpack with one hand. It had somehow dropped to the ground in the fight. No, don't ask. And the handsome guy crouched by the trash can with the other. He pressed his hand to his stomach like it hurt, but I threw his arm over my shoulder and quickly dragged him to where I had parked my motorcycle. I figured the thugs weren't going to give up easily. They kept trying to get back up no matter how many strikes I did. They kept going. And Where are we going? The guy asked, his face contorted in pain and his hands still covering his stomach. Dunno. Just get on the bike, I said, starting the engine of my trusty motorcycle. That guy looked unsure, but I yanked his wrist, urging him to get on the bike with me. I'm not letting you go that quickly, pretty boy. You still, me. Got it? Capiche? I quickly backed up my bike from the parking lot and shot out the alley. I saw a couple of men run after us, but they were too late. As soon as I turned onto the main road, I revved the engine and sped off without looking back. The thugs probably ran back to their car to try and chase us, pero yeah. Thanks, the guy whispered hoarsely. I felt him slump forward, resting his head on my shoulder. Likely. Get that out. We'll cut that out. Yeah, he said it flatly, by the way. Feeling we were far enough away from the alley, I checked my side mirror. I sighed in relief, thankful that my big bike's engine was more powerful than a car's. Hey, I think we lost him. My passenger let a sigh of relief as well. Thanks again, he repeated weakly. His body sagged, unable to hold himself up. I grabbed his hand where it was resting idly on his thigh and urged him to hold onto my waist to steady himself. I was afraid he'd fall off my bike and get himself, unalived before he could pay me. Money. Hold tight. You got a death wish or what? I hissed as the bike soared through the wind, making my words incoherent. Still, he seemed to understand what I was said, and he held my jacket tightly in response. Thanks, he mumbled again. Is that the only word he knows? I wonder, but I decided to let it go. I kept driving, not as fast as, the beginning of our escape, but still faster than I'd usually drive. 50,000, I reminded him. Seriously, while checking his reflection in my side mirror, I saw him nod before painfully attempting to adjust his posture. Take me to my house. I'll give you the money there. I pondered his response. Not sure how much I could trust him. What if this guy was a drug dealer or a mobster or something? What if he was pissed that I initially planned to let those thugs beat him? What if he didn't want to cough up the dough and decided to lure me to my demise instead? Suddenly, his promise to pay me seemed suspicious. Copiations. Don't look at me like that. I'm not trying to lure you into some trap or anything. He's just squinting at me through the mirror with a faint smile on his face. Did I speak my thoughts out loud? Can he read my mind? How could have I known? Look at me, he said. Do I look like a crook? His voice stuttered, the cuts on his lips clearly making it difficult for him to speak. Yeah? Otherwise, why would you why would you get in the fight with those guys? Like with those thugs? I decided to avoid entering his house at all costs. I was afraid he might have underlings waiting there to beat me up. I told him I would drop him off at the gas station up ahead, and he could withdraw the money from an ATM there to pay me. I lost my phone in my wallet, he said, luckily sorry. When I gestured at the ATM in front of the gas station convenience store, which is right there conveniently. You should me into helping you. I see how it is. I abruptly turned to yell at him. I'm gonna f*** you up. You. I grabbed his shirt and dragged him off my bike. I was ready to kick him out of anger. I was gonna get him good. Here, take this. You should know that my life is worth more than 50,000 baht. He took off his ridiculously expensive looking watch and handed it to me. I took it, eyeing him skeptically. How do I know it's not fraudulent? I give it back. He sighed, attempting to snatch his watch back. I locked him. A rich kid like him wouldn't wear a counterfeit watch, right? Fine, I keep it. Even though the watch face was covered in dirt, if this was the real deal, I could sell it for a couple of $100,000. Alright, now get off my bike. But remember, if I find out that your watch is some fake Schmidt, I pointed at his face threateningly. I'll hunt you down and mess you up. Wait, let me just use your phone, he said, holding on his hand. I'm to call my father, he added when I didn't respond. I was paranoid, of course. What if he took off with my phone? But just looking at the sky, I could tell it. He ain't even breathing right. And breathing for him was difficult for him. It was difficult for him. Okay, you get it. I didn't need to worry about him running off anyways. So, you're pushing your luck, boy. I grunted, handing him my cell. Should I charge him extra for using my phone? Like, should I charge him minutes or some shit? 5 minutes. A minute. I thought as I watched him input some numbers before pressing the dial. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Okay, he really did call his dad. Other than that, he told his father the gas station's location so he could send someone to pick him up. I glanced at the sorry state he was in and started to have second thoughts. Should I have taken him to a hospital instead of leaving him in the middle of nowhere? His breathing was labored and his head was still bleeding. He's got a lot of blood, damn. What if I offered to take him to the hospital? If he paid me $30,000, well, would he agree? Thanks for the help, you greedy bastard, he said, staying on my bike. Getting it dirty. Damn. No hospitality. I didn't give a what he called me. People should expect something in return for their labor, right? Like, am I wrong? Like, I'm not wrong, right? He's a problem, not me. Thanks again for the help. Do I just read that again? Yes. Anyway, I'm Kin, he said, turning slightly towards me. We go to the same university. How would I know that? How would you know that? I asked my voice flat. I can't do a flat voice. You know me. No, you don't. But I wondered where he'd gotten the idea we went to the same school. Yeah, how? Your jacket. He said, oh, yeah, I remembered. I had my university jacket on. And that it was now covered in blood. Oh, God, taking that stain out. It's going to be... Oh. What's your name? He asked, still not getting off my bike. I frowned at him, annoyed. It sounded like it was painful for him to speak, and I wanted to tell him to save his breath instead of talking to me. Why? I asked, raising my eyebrow. Are you gonna look for me so you can beat me up later? No. It's because you saved me, so what's your name? He insisted. What do you want to know? I know so badly. Are you gonna carve it on your bedroom wall or worship me like a god? I was genuinely curious why he wanted to know my name, by the way. I'd save him, but that should be the end of it. There's no need to get to know each other. I will get off your bike then. He tried to put his head back on my shoulder, and I immediately jerked off. If you don't get off my bike, I'll kick you off, I said. My voice was stern, but I kept my face impassive as usual. Didn't give back my watch. You can wait to get your money until someone comes to pick me up. I looked at the watch in my hand. Its weight and the feel of the material told me it was authentic. I sighed and finally gave in. Jom. My name is Jom. His lips stretched into a tight smile, and he finally dismounted my bike without any further complaints. I looked at him, waving back at me, and as he walked away, wondering what a guy like him did to get in a fight with those scary thugs. But it really was none of my business, so I tossed those thoughts aside and started moving my bike back into gear. I put on my helmet, which I'd forgotten about earlier, and I drove home. You were driving unsafely? Also, wait, isn't her name Porsche? Huh? Jom? I'm confused. Maybe I should rewatch the show again. I should, maybe. Anna. So now for chapter 1, Deja Vu. So, Porsche. Is it going to change POV? Because it has the names on top. I just wanted to know that. Achoo! Dang. Who's talking about me behind my back? I've been sneezing non-stop since last night, John complained, as he set his coffee down on a marble table in front of the sports science building. I looked at him, apologizing internally. Last night I lied and gave out Jom's name instead of my own. Ah, that's where Jom's name came from. I was so conflicted for like a moment. But who in their right mind would give their actual real name in this situation? I took that guy's watch. What if he changed his mind one day and came after me? You get it back. There would be nothing I could do. I'd already sold the watch to a pawn shop that morning. Damn, you work fast. What works fast, but Porsche selling works faster. I could have told him my name was Boy Noom. So my 1,000% valid Thai names, by the way. Average person in Thailand. Anything. But Dom had messaged me just then, and I'd seen his name pop up in my phone screen, so it just slipped out. I'm sorry, man. Something happens to you, blame it on bad luck. Karma, the force of nature. The sun looked weird that day. I don't know. What the hell are you looking at me? Dumbass. It sounded like I said dumb. It's Jom. Sorry. Jom. He asked when he caught me staring at him, just direct eye contact. I shrugged and turned my attention to Tem, who was engrossed in correcting the group report out. The group he was correcting the thing or the report that the fucking professor turned, doing school stuff in school. Who does that? These two guys were my best friends, by the way. John was notoriously loud, and Tem was a bit of a weirdo who did not live up to his name. This Tem in Thai. Which meant wholesome. Oh, okay, there you go. There was a me. Okay, so Tem is not wholesome. And then there was me. Someone. And people usually try to avoid it was mostly due to my intimidating appearance. My face usually didn't show much emotion, so people could take me for cold and heartless, but it's totally lying. It's not the case. I'm a softie. The full sleeve tattoo of Japanese clouds and cherry blossoms covering my left arm didn't help either. I really fucked myself over, didn't I? No one wanted to get involved with me except for these two locals. We were in our second year at one of the most prestigious universities in the country. I mean, if I went to a different university that, maybe charged less, I wouldn't have this problem with the whole paying tuition shit. But, who knows, man. Possibilities are endless. I could never have been able to afford this university to study here. Yeah, you could have just gone to somewhere more affordable, but you shot yourself in the foot. If I hadn't been offered this athletic scholarship, okay, goodness, you're good at sports. My national championship title in judo got me full ride. Not a brag, but I'm good at judo. If we finish our report, do you want to go to Porsche's club tonight? Dom asked while playing games on his cell phone. Games? Which one? The phone one. You should try helping me with this report before thinking about going out, Tim replied. He was right, though. Tim was the only one who'd been consistently working on the group project. Although I wasn't being as annoying as Jom, I wasn't helping either, I'm honest with you. I'm equally as much of a parasite in this friendship as Jom. I'm pretty, so I get away with it, I think. Although, I just kept staring blankly at the assignment, just point blank, no blink, just head empty. There was nothing going between my eyes, except for this monologue, which I'm saying right now, but, yeah. Hopefully this gets put in a book, because it would be crazy. Come on. I mean, after we're finished. After you're finished. Dom insisted, to be honest with you. He loved hanging out at the club where I worked. Both he and Tim came around pretty often, and they become good friends. With the bar's owner. Like I was. I'm pretty, so they like me anyways. Fine, we'll go, Tim said, exasperated. John and I rushed him to finish correcting our group project, instead of helping him. Imagine that. John kept asking every 3 minutes or so if he was done. Meanwhile, I did a thing. I fixed him with an intense stare. Not actual schoolwork, but I did that. Urging him to hurry up with no intention to actually helping. I wasn't gonna actually help him, but I'm emotional support. I'm assuming that's what I was doing. You can do it. Finally, we ended up at the Root Club, owned by my boss, Madame Yoke. As my two friends relaxed by the bar, I was in my uniform serving drinks. I came around to chat with them occasionally. Horse, dear, can you fix me another drink? A middle-aged woman chirped at me. I gave her a polite smile and quickly mixed a drink for her. I was pretty good at, bartending and mixing drinks, and I was popular among, our female clientele. They loved giving me fat tips, and I loved taking them. Some even came here every day to just see me. Probably, who knows? I don't kiss and tell, but I probably hooked up with a customer occasionally. Again, don't kiss and tell, but you end up somewhere, maybe in a hotel, motel. Here, there, everywhere. But they had to really catch my eye. Like, the woman I was about to serve a cocktail to, she had arrived with 2 other friends, and she was quite the looker. All the male patrons were ogling her. Patrons. Sorry, I said patrons. Yeah, they were ogling her, that's what matters. But, not to brag, she only had eyes for moi. And Vivi, give me a call. As I expected, she handed me a small piece of paper with her number on it. I grinned and stuffed the note in my pocket. Looks like little Che is going to be home alone tonight. John drawled. Tim handed me my drink as I came to sit next to them. I was very close to the owner of this place, Madame Yoke. She didn't mind that my friends came here occasionally. And by occasionally, I mean every singular day of their entire existence. There was not a single day they were not here. Madame Young was a trans woman. Trans rights. If you say the contrary, that trans women are women, I will in fact beat your ass. But back on topic. She loved to dress, as if every day was a New Year's Day. Like, the color of her cheap house changed daily, which I found amusing, be clear with you. She was a bit flamboyant, but she had her ways. She's always been very kind to me, be clear. When she knew I wasn't making enough to pay my brother's expensive tuition fee, because instead of going to a normal school, we decided to go to the most expensive, in Thailand. Instead of, us making financial decisions that would make sense, we decided to go to the most expensive, Thailand. But, when she figured out that we couldn't pay the bazillion baht a microsecond in the school, she would lend me money. She was the only adult figure in my life that I really respected. Like, she legitimately was the only one keeping me sane. What's this? So early in the night and someone's already trying to steal my precious boy? Madame Yuk purred as she sidled. That's what it says, sidled. Up to me, but her arms intertwined with mine. I don't know where it's the other word but she did it. If this had been any other trans woman, I would have felt pretty uncomfortable. Why? I wasn't grossed. Okay, gracias. I wasn't grossed out by them. And I didn't have anything against them. I just wasn't used to being around them. I'm just side-eyeing you, but don't worry about it. Side-eye. I initially felt the same way about Madame Yoke, but it worked for her for several years. Well, I worked for her. I worked for her for several years, and I was comfortable with her now. Like, come on. Although I'd only turned 20 a couple of months ago, I'd been helping out the bar for like a long time by now. I would come here after class to prepare the place for opening. I eventually got promoted to waiter, and the pay was better. But then again, I do waste half of it in a very hyper expensive university for no good reason. Even though well, not my university, but I did put my brother in a very expensive school for no reason whatsoever. Madame Yook said that the regulars loved me, which is normal because who doesn't love me? And I could help attract more customers by showing up more often. You know, you gotta get it where it comes, I guess. You better keep a close eye on what's on your precious boy, Tim said. All the women here look like they want to devour him. Madame Yook pursed her lips disapprovingly and rested her head gently on my shoulder. I just smiled leisurely and kept back my drink. Then I was so young, so the club was quiet, with only a few customers scattered around. I'd worked here long enough that Madame Yook, she's my Yoke, not Yuck, Yoke. Why? Okay, Yoke. Entrusted me to supervise all the waiters, even though some of them were older than me. She was a friend of my uncle, so I'd known her since I was a kid. She often came to our house when my uncle hosted parties. Then disaster struck my family, and well, my family used to be very wealthy, like they were, which probably explains why I refused to put my brother in a more affordable school. My father owns several businesses, including a showroom for imported cars. Not important. Well, they are important, but 8 years ago, my parents were in a tragic car accident that killed them on the spot. Yeah, we lost my parents. Assets, our house, cars, everything. To the bank. The bank people. They took our shit. One of my dad's corrupt business partners almost drained us dry. All my brother and I had left was a ramshackle 3-story townhouse. Whatever will we do? We scrounged together whatever we had left just to get by. We also had, Uncle Fee, my father's younger brother. He always supported us despite his gambling problem. He and Madame Yook were the two people who had always cared for us. Yeah, where the fuck did his dad come from, anyways? Oh, by the way, I wish I knew how to speak. I meant the legal drinking age in Thailand apparently is 20 years. So he has been working at a bar for longer than what he could drink. Most countries is 16. They're kind of like the U.S. in that little department. U.S. is 21 and they're 20. Just a year. 1 year. 1 solid year. Interesting. Are you planning on being Madame's sugar baby? John asked out of the blue. I've never seen you with a girlfriend. He already has me. There's no place for other women. Madame joked, teased lightheartedly. I can't even take care of myself. I can't even take care of myself. How could I take care of a girlfriend? I chuckled, taking another sip of my drink. I was happy having occasional flings with no strings attached. Well, look for someone who can take care of you, then, Tim said. He cocked his head, eyeing a table in the corner occupied by several good-looking men. He leaned closer and whispered, they've been checking you out for a while. The man. I raised my foot to kick him for talking absolute nonsense, but that fucker just touched me. Or they might be checking me out. Madame Yook fluttered her eyelashes at them flirtatiously. Tam and Jom cracked up when the guy hurriedly looked away. Pussy. Well, you kinda look like the type, Tam went on. The macho top with tattoos and pristine clothes. I whacked him on the head with my ice tongs. You're nuts. Is someone like Porsche turned gay? A buffalo would give birth to a dog with Madame Yook's face, Dom interjected, earning a smack to the head from said Madame Yook. Are you low-key insulting me? You guys are no fun, Madame Yook husked Dom before leaving the boys to talk to other customers. Look, they're not paying attention to our madam at all. They're totally into Porsche, Tim said. I gave those guys an annoyed glance. I really hate it when male customers try to hit on me. Some even had the balls to catcall me or give me their number. There was nothing I could do except smile politely. Smile and nod, boys. I wasn't a homophobe, okay? Calm the down. Calm your tits. Okay, I see you. Calm down. But I knew I didn't swing that way. Look, I am 100% heterosexual. Ignore the fact that this is a BL for like a moment. Look at their outfits, luxury brands from head to toe. If you accept their advances, you'd be set for life. If you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna kick your ass. I replied coldly. Give me time of death glare. I'm just kidding. Sheesh. Oh, look. Those girls are calling for you. I hushed him and went over to Vivi's table. She beckoned me over as if she wanted to order something, so I smiled at her lightly, while leaning closer. Could you tell me where the restroom is? Vivi whispered, her face beside me. My lips curled up, and when I felt her delicate touch on my hand, it's in the back to the left, I said, giving her a knowing smile as she caressed my hand. Can you show me, please? Everything went as anticipated. Vivi couldn't wait to pull me into a dark curtain at the back of the club near the storage room. She immediately leaned in and kissed me while I pushed her slender body against the wall, hungrily devouring the taste of her lips. It might get steamy here. This corner of the club was a blind spot where people came, no pun intended, for a quick hookup. I was a freaking visitor myself. This wall basically belonged to moi. The area was often deserted and, well, as deserted as it could be, and being interrupted was unlikely. I'd grab a girl and come here to get, get off during work. I was fondling Vivi's chest with one hand and trying to unbutton my jeans with the other when a loud commotion suddenly stopped us. Fa! Clash! Clang! Porsche! Porsche! Screwed! I heard someone yell and saw one of my colleagues approaching in alarm. What the heck's going on? As agitated, I tried to pull my pants up while Vivi smoothed out her dress. Confused. Look for yourself, he yelled. I sprinted after him to the bar and saw half the room in chaos. Tables and chairs were knocked over everywhere as customers fled from the commotion, to be honest with you. Shards of broken glass and beer bottles were strewn across the floor. More than 10 men dressed in black crowded the bar, destroying the place without paying any attention to Madame Young's. Please, calm down. Sir, we can talk. Please. I hurried to Madame Young's side. What happened? My two best friends and some waiters surrounded her, trying to stop the men to no avail. I squinted at one guy in front of me who looked vaguely familiar. He attempted to charge at me when he saw my face. My reflexes were faster than his. I kicked my squirrely toe in his chest, sending him stumbling backwards. Pew! Now I knew where I recognized him from. He was the guy I fought off last night. Although he and his henchmen looked pretty banged up, I was sure it was him. Now that I figured out why they came here, I wasted no time and, returned their punches with my friends fighting by my side. Homies. Come on, boys. You're... He raised his fist, and I caught it mid-swing. I'm what? I asked sharply, my eyes glaring at him hard. Why did you think you can mess with us? Oh, wait, that's what he said. Never mind. Why did you think you could mess with us? He barked furiously, while his underlings fought my friends and colleagues. Madame Yoke also joined the fight. Hey-ya! In a rage, she hit the thugs with a chair. A la lucha libre! Boom! Ow, 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 ow. Why did I do that? She looked more like an angry Hulk than her usual feminine, beautiful self. 'Cause you're a fucking pussy. I chuckled before landing another punch to his face. The man swayed to the side and grabbed the beer bottle and smashed on the table. He launched himself on me again, trying to stab me with his broken bottle. In your dreams, a-hole. I thought, laughing and dodging his attacks. Well, enraged. Yeah, that enraged him more, to be honest. But it doesn't look like I gave a no. I didn't realize, they figured it out. I worked here. I was, sorry. I had a drink. Where was I? Okay, I hadn't realized I would figure it out that I worked here. I was taking out the trash and, locking up last night when I got caught in the whole crossfire. Yeah, I probably brought this trouble to myself. But, I'm clear. I wasn't even afraid of them. But I was fearful of how much I was going to have to, pay Madame Yoke and damages. Arrogant bastard, the man hissed, the muscles in his jaw tightening in anger. He tried several times to stab me. He tried. The attempt was adorable, to be honest. It was cute. Yeah. But I blocked him by kicking him back. Kapow. Thanks for the compliment, I said with a mock salute, and turned to the side, trying to knee him in the gut. Suddenly, some jerk put me in a chokehold, from behind. Cheater. Knocking me off balance, the guy with the broken bottle, who seemed to be the boss of this gang, smirked triumphantly. He's like, I looked at him calmly as he approached, trying to find an opening to evade his attack, when suddenly, stop! Someone yelled from the entrance. His authoritative voice commanded attention, making everyone stop. I looked at him. Some of the thugs swore loudly, Shit! It's Ken! All eyes focused on a man in a black shirt. He was flanked by a group of bodyguards in suits swarming into the bar. For f***'s sake! Madame Yoke shrieked shrilly. How am I supposed to fix this mess? The fight started up again. That voice. Ugh. The fight started up again. Kapew, 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 kaboom, kaboom, kaboo. I felt relieved when the primary target changed from me to the newcomer. Yay. The guy, Ken, fought back with much more skill than he had yesterday. I looked at him while, dolling out punches haphazardly. Kapow, kapow, kick, kick. Confusing both parties. I seem to not belong to any particular side, but let's just say I mainly attacked the guys who went after me first, so I'm the real victim. Mr. Kim, watch out! I turned just in time to see one of the thugs punch Ken in the face. Kaboom! The first drove him back into the wall with the long foot. It was 5 men against 1. 5 guys. Thai edition with less burgers. And one of them tried to... That was a horrible joke. No, don't laugh. Don't pity. Nothing. That was terrible. But yeah, 5 men were against 1. And one of them tried to stab him. He was trying to stab Kim with a knife. I quickly made up my mind and decided to fight on Kinn's side. Got it. I selected my team. After all, the watch you gave me last night was worth 6 figures. I roundhouse kicked the ankle of the man, with the knife, yanked the guy punching Kinn by the hair, and threw more kicks and punches. Kapew, kapur, kaboom, pow, pow, until I knocked all 5 of them to the ground. Thanks. Kinn's voice was hoarse as he glanced at... Is he a horse, by the way? Kinn has been talking horse this entire time. Kinn the horse confirmed. Well, I'll stop. I'm gonna charge you for that. I said smugly before returning to the fight. Damn. Are these guys ever gonna tire out? Because I'm tired. I thought as I tried to block the goons from getting to Kinn. Kapew, kapew, pow, pow. More of them are coming. What? Did you burn down their house or something? Kinn huffed. I'm being hunted down. More thugs rushed into the bar right after Kinn finished his sentence. They were very patient. This time, Jom, Tem, Madame Yok, and some of my colleagues decided to flee. Bye-bye. No matter how good you were in a fight, you could fist fight, but even if your opponent fought dirty, the situation had taken a turn for the worse. These new guys came heavily armed with knives and guns and shit. I figured there was a high chance we were gonna, get ourselves maybe unalived. I was gonna see the great beyond. Not heaven, but the great beyond. Let's go. Go where? We're surrounded. Kinn replied calmly. That was my way of saying calm. Yeah, let's go with that. That was a great take. I'm not retaking that. None of this retaking. It's a one take type of situation. I'm not. No. He stared down the angry mob as if he could handle them. Just follow me. I don't know why my conscience suddenly wanted me to play the saint. But I grabbed his arm and quickly pulled him away. We exited through the kitchen and into a different alley. I didn't dare escape using the same route as last night. That'd be stupid. Fearing that we might not make it. Oh, by the way, there's a note here. It says, Wakao Banchamek. Wako. It's a renowned Thai kickboxer and a 2-time K1 world. Oh, to name somebody. Wakao Banchamek. Hopefully I said that right. But he's a 2-time kickboxer. He got the K1 World Max Champion. Congratulations, bruh. Definitely that's how you would want to hear that. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. Where are we going? Kinn asked. I remained silent. When I got on my bike, I realized what I had just done. I cursed at myself. Why must I do this to myself? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why the hell did I drag him? And why did I drag him along with me? I mean, at least some of the mess was on me, but wasn't he the one who started it all? I pulled him onto my bike like a fucking idiot. Feeling fortunate that I parked in the alley here tonight. What a coincidence, since the parking lot was full. But this way we didn't need to circle back up front. I started up the engine and zoomed into the night. Everything seemed so familiar. It was like I pressed a rewind button from last night. The same events replaying. I even took the same fucking road and saw the same gas station up ahead where I dropped him off last night. It felt very deja vu. So how much did I charge him this time? I'm going to be reading up until now. Right now, I'm currently in page... I hate that they don't have the numbers here, but... Okay, I read up until page 29. So that's where I'm leaving it up right now. Later I'll be reading the rest. But if you guys like what you guys are hearing, if you guys enjoy reading with me or you just enjoyed the gameplay. See you next time. Hopefully, I think it's gonna be next week. I don't make promises, pero yes. It's KinnPorsche Volume 1. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, pero yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing, and well, yeah, that's all. Bye.